Hi friends, welcome to another video. Chinese New Year is just round the corner, 29 January to be exact, and I have given myself the ultimate challenge. I wanted to say the ultimate weekend challenge, but I actually didn't finish anything over the weekend, so of making not just one, but two outfits for the celebration. I don't even know if I can do it, but you know. Let's start with the first one, the bubble frock dress that I mentioned in my 2025 sewing plans video. I'll be using this fabric, which is a Japanese jacquard fabric, and let's be honest, this is like the style of the show. Originally, I planned to use a Japanese kofu cord, which is basically a cord that is made from antique kimono fabric, and I actually found this beautiful one on Etsy and I thought it was actually perfect, but then I saw the shipping, $21. No way I'm spending $21 on straps. So I found an alternative for $4, which is not as fancy, but you know, the color works and I won't cry from being broke. And since this fabric is so special, I am going to be doing something that I don't normally do, which is actually to make a mock-up first. Normally I just go for it and hope for the best, but you know, this fabric is so precious and so beautiful. I really do not want to waste it. So I'll get started on the mock-up and be back when it's done. Hi friends, good morning. It's not really morning anymore, it's 10:45. So I just did the mock-up for the borders and I think it fits pretty well, so I think I am confident enough to start cutting on the actual fabric. So for lining, I have these two options. Well, you can't see two options. The white one is a cotton lawn and the green one is, I don't know, it feels a bit chiffony, so I think it might be a cotton chiffon or polyester. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but it's not as soft as the cotton lawn. So anyway, the cotton lawn is extremely soft and nice against the skin, but the problem that it's white, so I'm not too keen on using it for the borders. The green one, I'm concerned that it might be a little bit scratchy on the skin. Okay, you know what? I think I will be using the green one for the borders lining and the white one for the skirt lining. Oh, fucking hate mornings. My nose is always so stuffy in the morning. So I think I'm gonna get on with cutting the real fabric now! So basically, I filmed this entire portion without realizing that my mic was dead. But anyway, I was just saying that I realized I didn't have enough fabric. So I was actually planning to extend the skirt length by using whatever fabric that I had left and doing kind of like a wide bias hem. So over here, I'm just sewing in the basting stitches for the skirt panels. And then I am attaching the top part of the borders to the bottom part of the borders together. So honestly, it was a little bit tricky to sew because of the curved edges, but as long as you go slow and steady, I think it will be fine. And then I am basting more stitches and also gathering the skirt to the top borders. Now I'm just sewing the skirt to the top, and then you repeat the whole thing for the back panel as well. This is how the front is looking like at the moment. It's great. It's great. It's a little bit long though, so would have been much better if I actually measured how much I needed, but wow! I'm so excited. This was not really in the instructions, but I top stitched the borders. I top stitched the borders down with the seam facing upwards. And it's looking really great. So now I'm actually going to French seam the 2 back panels to this, and then I'll probably be able to add the zipper. So now I'm just French seaming the side seams together, and then you repeat the whole thing with the lining fabric. Okay, zipper time. I always don't remember how to do the zipper correctly. The video tutorial says that 9 inches down for the zipper, and then I'm going to actually pin this in. I think this is the correct way of doing it. No. Haha! Oops! Wrong. Okay. And then I don't know where's my 9 inch already. 小了. See if this is actually correct first. Because I also don't know. I do not understand. I do not understand this at all. Yeah, it's twisted on the wrong side. Okay. Okay. So I worked till 4 a.m. last night, and as you saw, I managed to fit the zipper in and also sew the shell and the lining. So I'm just going to measure out how long I want the straps to be, and we'll check back. So this is what the dress is looking like at the moment. Don't mind the length of the skirt panels. I wish that I cut the front skirt panel a bit shorter, but I'm liking the fit, and all I'm left with is actually just to sew in the lining piece and also the skirt hem, and then I am done. I've been sewing and sewing just to realize that my bobbin is out of thread. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Basically, the seam, the zipper seam, is a little bit too exposed for my liking, and I know that going through multiple wash cycles, this is all gonna start to fray. So I can't really zigzag stitch either, because I don't think zigzag stitch is really gonna work on this. So what I'm gonna do is, I do have like some extra bias binding, and I'm going to bias bind the seams at the back. And the binding is done. Look at this, so nice. Ooh. Not bad at all. So over here, I'm just attaching the hem binding and I'm done. My needle broke. It's another day. I did not finish 2 outfits in a weekend because I had some last minute plans with some friends. So anyway, for the second outfit I'm making is gonna be the burgundy plaid dress. I've already bought a pattern for this dress on Etsy, but I actually just realized that I don't really need the pattern because I could actually self-draft it. So I'm going to try self-drafting it first, because even for the pattern I will have to kind of like hack it a little bit. We'll see if that works out. If not, I will go back to using the pattern. And also because I'm self-drafting it, I am going to make a mock-up, at least for the top section. So I already have this like dress that I thrifted many years ago. I really like the fit of this dress and also the drape of this dress. So I'm going to use this dress as a reference. Thing is that this dress is a v-neck and I want it to be a round neck, and also the straps start a little bit higher because it's a v-neck. So I'm going to bring down the starting point of the straps and then make it into a round neck. But otherwise, everything else about this dress is kind of great. So yeah, so this will just be my reference. The point where this top ends is kind of great. I think I'm going to make it slightly higher. And then this point is going to be slightly lower. And then this is my shoulder point, my armpit point. And then it opens up a little bit. So I'm just going to make it a little bit longer, maybe about here. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. It kind of seems like it's working. Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. So this is what I have done. This is going to be my back panel and this is going to be my front panel. I'm going to add the seam allowance and then I'm going to cut out in my mock-up fabric and we'll see if that works. So this is the mock-up that I just did. There's just a few changes that I would make. Is that I think the neckline, I'm going to make it a little bit higher. And then for the armhole, it's just a little bit too inward. So I'm going to make it a little bit straighter so it sits further out. Okay, so what I've done is that I have actually lengthened the total length of the bodice piece, and I've increased the height of the armhole so it's not as sloping as before, and I've also made the neckline slightly wider by about 2 cm. So I think it should sit a little bit more open on my shoulders. What I've done also is I've added 1.5 cm seam allowance on the side and the bottom so that I can French seam. And then the armhole, because they're going to be binded with bias tape, these will all be 1 cm. So honestly, I have no clue how it's going to turn out, but I am going to bind the back panel first, then I'm going to bind the front panel and then the armhole. So whoa, okay, it works. So this armhole is done, and this armhole is also done, but this armhole looks like shit. So I'm gonna redo this one. Okay, now I just need to figure out like exactly how do I do this. I can technically open this up, slot this in and sew it back down. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I've done the ring, and then now I'm going to try and attach the slider in, and we'll see how that goes. I think it should be fine. So for the skirt, I decided to cut out one rectangular piece from the shell fabric and also from the lining fabric. And then what I did was actually to French seam the side seams together, so there will be actually one back seam, and then I gathered it down together and then attached it to the bodice piece. So I worked till 4 a.m. last night and everything was going well until I had the realization that I made the stupidest mistake. Remember when I was gathering the skirt to the top, and before that I sewed the side seam of the lining and the shell piece together? Yep, that was a mistake. Basically, I realized that I needed to actually hem the lining piece first before I could seam the whole skirt together. I gave up sewing at 4 a.m. because actually I thought that I was gonna be able to finish it, but apparently not. I was thinking about it and I kind of wanna make the skirt a little bit poofier. It looked pretty close to what I imagined it to be, so the top is great. It's just the skirt that is a little bit too straight. So what I'm gonna do is I am actually going to double up the gathering. So I'm gonna cut another piece of each from the lining and the shell, and there's gonna be my back skirt panel. I have just pinned the lining and the shell piece together. So now I will base the gathering stitches, but I'm going to base them front and back so that I can gather them separately. It's 3 a.m. and I'm just left with hemming the dress and I am done. 2 outfits for Chinese New Year. Done. Okay, I will come back with the review of the dress.